All right, so today I'm joined by Greg Driscoll and Brendan Eprile, the artists known as Boy Riot. How are you both doing today?
Hey, we're
Hey,
really good. How are
yeah.
you?
I'm well, thank you. So, guys, you two were previously known as Fab the Duo. What was the decision behind rebranding the Boy Riot?
Yeah. So it's pretty simple. Fab started off very pop.
Mhm.
And so we started off that, and then our bridge between our music taste is very pop punk emo. And as Fab progressed over the years, we started gearing a little bit more towards the rock world and a little bit more emo. And after we released our first album, we just realized like we kind of want a clean break. We want a clean start. We want to just hit that reset button and start over in the way that we see ourselves now. We've kind of grown out of the Fab brand.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, and so one thing led to another, and we made the big jump, and now here we are.
Yeah, we kind of started to feel like we weren't really representing our true selves and almost like we were like playing a character and we were almost forced to be this like super hyper fabulous, fashionable, sassy, fun all the time and we're really just kind of like punky weirdos. So it felt like it
But
was
we can be
no, of
fashionable.
course we could
You
oh
can be
yeah, we could
fashionable,
still be
yeah.
all those things too.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Yeah, because I love that not only did you change your names and look, but you also went to that alt punk genre. And even in your press release, you're like self-proclaimed edgy, chaotic queerdos, which I absolutely love. Would you say that that has really helped you grow as music artist?
Oh yeah, it definitely did, especially because I think at the beginning in our previous band, we had a lot of time figuring out what our sound was and where we fit in the musical community. And I think once we really just like honed in on that sound, on that kind of like 2000s inspired like alternative pop punk sound, it really started to like grow from there,
Yeah.
especially given that that's a space that not many queer and gay people are a part of right now. So we wanted
I
to
mean,
create
I
that
think it's
representation.
to specify, I think it's a very hetero, especially in the male sense, hetero space, and very white too. So like, but this is our true love, and we're like, nah, this is where we belong. Like we should be here.
Mhm.
And yeah, like I think like it's so interesting because there's a lot of queer, you know, ness in in the genre,
Yeah.
but it is interesting to see that there's not really many out gay men. There's a few, like a handful of like bisexual men, which we love, but like we were like, why aren't there like out gay men in this scene that we are seeing? And so yeah, we're here to fix that.
Awesome. And what's the significance behind the name Boy Riot?
Do you want the truthful answer or the PR answer?
I want the truth. I want nothing but the truth. Don't give me the PR bullshit. I want the truth.
Absolutely. Truthfully, so I had a photograph. I do photography on the side, and I love the name Boy Riot. I don't really know where it came from. I just saw it and was like, I like this. And then I kind of was like putting the photography on the back burner, and while we were dealing with our name, what our new name would be, I was like, you know what would be a sick name? And Brendan goes, "What?" I was like, "Boy Riot. I guess I can like give up the name for us." So that's how it happened. Brendan brought to my attention that it came from, what was it?
Oh, well, there's like a whole subgenre of like in the 2000s of like that Riot Girl kind of music,
Okay.
which is like very like, female centric, like kind of queer pop punk. And so we kind of wanted to like do something kind of like as an homage to that, but do it in our own spin in 2024 as well.
Okay. Okay, that's
So
all.
honestly, that's something I realized after the name,
Yeah, I was
but
like, that's not what we
I
did at all.
definitely not at
He
the
gave you
beginning.
the PR
But I
answer, I
saw
gave
that
you the
after
truth.
and was like, oh, that's cool. Okay, yeah.
Yes, Greg's gonna give me the tea. Okay, Brendan, come on, be real with this. Come on.
Yeah,
Brendan's
I'm
over here
that. This
like,
is
let
my.
me
I'm a publicist. I'm sorry. It's in my blood.
Take the PR out right now. Okay, I want the truth. I want it all. And the last time we spoke, you also talked about how you like to challenge the status quo of today's culture scene. Is that still very much true to part of who you are?
Oh, absolutely. I think even more so now.
I think I think we found one area that we could use some work, and then we were like, you know what, let's go even further into that wormhole and like fuck shit up
Yeah.
more. So
It's
here
one
we
thing to
are.
be like a gay couple that does pop music together, but a gay couple that does pop punk and rock music, like that's even more out of left field, out of the mainstream.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. So Boy Riot released your debut single, Main Character, in May. How has it been received?
It's
Uh,
been received pretty well, so
yeah.
far.
Honestly, for our first song and, not knowing what the hell people would think about it, we are very, very happy with the response. I think people are very into the world. They get it, which I was very worried about. I was like, if people coming from Fab don't get it, I don't know what to tell them. But like this has been honestly very beautiful to see, like, because it was a risk getting and starting a new Instagram, starting over, doing all that. And so like there's always doubts,
Mhm.
but luckily everything worked out really well. Even better than our expectations. I think we're at like over 4,000 streams, which for some may not be big, but for us, we're like, hell yeah, let's go. On the first freaking song, like, let's go.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, and we've gotten some really cool people like telling us, "Oh, I love the song," and we're like, "Oh my God, this is crazy." So yeah, I could not complain at
Yeah,
all.
very happy. We really wanted this song to be sort of a bridge between, people who are used to kind of our more fun pop songs
Yeah,
from Fab the Duo and to our more kind of edgy pop punk songs. So I thought this was a really good starting point. And then we're just going to keep on getting edgier and harder and fiercer as it goes. We're super excited with the single coming out on Wednesday, and we can't
Yeah.
wait
Yeah,
to
that's
see
my
it.
next question. What's this nuke single about?
Yeah, so this is kind of our rage anthem. Everyone needs a good summer rage anthem. It's called All the Best JESS. We have this like, mythical, ungender specified person named Jess that we're putting all our rage out into. And it's just, it's one of those songs that you want to both like, you know, take some Molly, be in a rave, and also start a mosh pit and just throw stuff.
yeah. We are big old suckers for like the genre bending, as you already know, but like this song is like a rave at a rock show kind of thing. It's very reminiscent of like 303 and like what they kind of did back in like
Okay.
early 2000s. And then we added our own little twist to it, and yeah, it's called All the Best Jazz, and we're really stoked.
Awesome. So will these songs, these first two tracks, will they be part of a bigger body of work like an EP or a full-length album, or do you just plan to have them as just standalones?
We don't know
To
yet,
be
truth be told.
determined, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's not even a PR answer. We literally don't know.
Gotta go with the
Because also
flow.
we always used to do project based, and I still love having a cohesive project, but like after we did our full album, unfortunately as independent artists doing like a big album like that, people only really listen to the singles. And with
Yeah.
like all the things like the algorithms and blah 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 and how the industry works right now just releasing singles, especially when you're starting out, is kind of the way to go.
Yeah,
And maybe, if it all works out, it will culminate in a cohesive project
Okay.
somewhere.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
perfect. Well, what do you always hope audiences take away from your music? From Fab the Duo, the Boy Riot, the any independent project, what do you always hope audiences take away from it?
I think the through line between Fab and Boy Riot is be who you want,
Mhm.
love who you want, and fuck shit up in the best way possible. And just remember, like, you only get one life, so live it to the fullest. Just, don't hurt yourself or anyone else. And if you do, like, hopefully you get away with it.
Yeah, we've always want our music to be like a place where people who don't always fit in feel like they can.
Yeah,
There's kind of a place for everyone, being like, gays in LA that never really always fit into that like specific scene. We've kind of like attracted an audience of people who don't necessarily like fit into a specific box.
yeah.
And so it's been exciting seeing kind of the people who've been catching on to what we're doing.
I think it's so cool to see like the difference in the people who are finding Boy Riot compared to who were finding Fab. There's some overlap, but like I feel like one thing we've noticed is we're actually seeing a lot of non-binary and transgender people following Boy Riot. And I think that to me says that, they are finding themselves as others in the community, which is how we felt a lot too, a lot of the time. And I think it's kind of beautiful to see this little ragtag group of like people who, you know, maybe don't feel the most comfortable at the Abbey, but feel more comfortable at the Eagle or whatever it may be, you know, and they're like, I want to find my own community within the community. And I hope that, you know, people with Boy Riot can find that home within us and know that, you know, we're a bunch of weirdos who just make music and hope for the best.
Yeah, for sure. Did you find Fab the Duo to have more of a cis gay men following?
Yes,
Yes,
for
cis
sure.
gay men and women. Yeah, very
Right.
much. I feel like, yeah,
I feel like honestly, Boy Riot, a lot of non-binary trans people, a lot of lesbians, and a
lesbian.
lot of straight
I
bros
love.
too. I think maybe
Really?
because it's music, but I feel like actually like cis gay men are probably one of our smaller demographics right now.
Wow, a big shift there.
It's a big shift, but I can understand why. I mean, I feel like a lot of, you know, mainstream gay culture is if they don't have a beat, they're not interested. So like, you
Yeah.
know, and we have rock music, we have guitars, we do all that. So you can't really play us in a club without doing a very serious remix, which one day, you know, we're
Mhm.
here for
I think
it.
we also previously used to kind of pigeonhole ourselves as specifically like gay artists. We were like the artists you'd invite to Pride. It was very, all our songs were kind of about being gay. And so in some ways that limited us into like just a specific group. Whereas now we're trying, obviously, you know, we're very out and proud. That's never going to change, but we're trying to be first and foremost about the music. We used to like pitch ourselves as a gay pop duo, a queer pop duo. Now we're like, we're not even going to mention our sexuality. They can find that out if they like us and want to do more research.
Exactly, yes. And have you both always had this passion and desire to pursue music?
Yes, differently.
Definitely, yeah.
When we met, so we met on Tinder
Mhm.
almost 7 years ago now, Jesus. In New York City, I was trying to do the like singer-songwriter, Ed Sheeran, boy with a guitar, playing at coffee houses. He was like trying to do musical theater, Broadway, and we sort of, but we always immediately bonded over our love of like pop punk growing up. We like
Yeah.
would listen to Linkin Park and Green Day and Good Charlotte. I went to Warped Tour. That was like, you know, we were kind of like the weird emo kids in high school. So we always bonded over that, but it definitely has been a long journey to now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Said everything.
Exactly. There you go. So, being a couple and working in this collaborative partnership, what would you say is the key to that? What is the key to being successful like this?
I don't know. You know, I come from the South, and in the South, you have a saying that says, if it ain't broke, you don't fix it. And you know, I feel like a lot of people, I mean, look, the goal is you want to create with your partner for sure. And like I think that there are couples that are made for it, and I think there are couples that are definitely not. And I think like for us, it was always something that came very naturally. We've never really questioned it. We've never had really any issues separating our relationship from our music, which is still a shock to this day because it's been like 6 years. But we're very much able to argue about creative shit and then come back and be like, okay, what are we doing for dinner? Where are we going out to eat? What are like it's
Literally.
like we could be in a full heated like I hate this idea kind of thing, and then immediately be like, okay, let's
Okay,
go
who's
get
taking out the
drinks.
dog now? Like that
Exactly.
kind of stuff.
And so I wish I had a better answer, but in the theme of me, I keep it real and no PR answers here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think for me,
Right.
what makes this work is because we're so opposite in like pretty much every single way. We're able to balance each
Mhm.
other out. We also have opposite skill sets. I kind of do a lot of the like public relations facing stuff. He's great at like creating a brand and a visual world. And he's like the creative director. And I'm kind of like the publicist finance person who does more of like the kind of like
Yeah.
practical things. And then,
Yeah.
you know, in terms of just like our personalities, he's like so out there and I'm a little bit more contained. And like, you know, we always joke that like it's good cop, bad cop, worst cop if it ever gets there.
It's true.
But he's like the tough one going into negotiations, like, no, we're gonna, and I'm like, well, let's try to compromise. So I think having that like yin and yang effect has really helped us and
Yeah.
allowed us to
Sure.
kind of stay grounded for
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
whatever.
sure. Yeah, it works out in the end, definitely. Well, what are some future goals you hope to accomplish with Boy right now? Where do you see yourselves in the next 5 years? I know that's a very general interview question, but seriously, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Grammys, world tour. No.
Opening for like Beyonce. No, like
Beyond.
Beyonce, I'm sure her next genre is rock. Like at this
Let's
point, like
go.
girl,
Probably.
Let's go. Yeah.
let's go. I'm here for
I'm
it.
ready for
Give
it.
us a Tina Turner tribute or something.
I-
I don't know. But no, honestly, I hope that Boy Riot is able to break through the noise in the way that we had hoped for Fab to do. I think like Boy Riot is more authentic to us, so we're hoping that people latch on a little quicker than Fab. I think Fab kind of was a little rocky. I mean, we were learning. But I think like I would love to do our first like festival within the next year or two. I would love to obviously, play some really cool events. I would love to be, nominated for Queerdy, so we get nominated by our peeps, things like
Flattering any
that.
of
Like
those.
I think it's all about for us. I think we want to be recognized because I think we're doing this at the end of the day for our community. We're making music for the people who are like us. And that is, the gay weirdos, queerdos that we said. And I think anything to do along with that, I will be happy. And I hope there's way more than that too.
Ooh, I'd love to be one of the go-to queer artists for like rock music. If you're doing a Pride and you want to have a rock band,
Yeah.
oh, Boy Riot, let's call them up. And then just on a much more basic level, I think we've always known this is what we want to do, and we really hope we can find a way the next few years to just sustain a career doing it. Even if
Yeah.
we're not like giant, which of course we want to be, like just being able to like actually sustain a career where we're doing this and doing music, that would be such a dream in itself.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's awesome. Love it. Well, how can one stay up to date with BOYR at the best?
So we have a lot of different social media accounts. All of them are We Are Boy Riot. So that's We Are Boy Riot on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok.
Yeah.
I'm probably missing on Spotify and Apple Music. It's just Boy Riot.
With an exclamation point
Yes.
instead of an I.
Yes.
Our
Yep.
website is super easy, just boyriot.com.
Yep.
Okay.
If anything, just go there and everything's for there. So yeah.
Great. Very simple. Well, then before we wrap up, are there any other upcoming projects or anything else you would like to mention or plug at this time?
We have a show on Tuesday the 16th in Hollywood at Hotel Cafe. We're doing a quick little set at I think it's called Not Another Showcase, which is exciting. And then yeah, we have 2 more songs before the end of the year. So I hope that people stay tuned and love what we got coming up.
Okay, fantastic.